Welcome to BoxtoBox FPL Show Gameweek 30 preview. This is the preview for FPL. Gameweek 29 was just rough. A lot to talk about in this episode. Obviously, guys, the show is brought to you by UberEats. Don't forget, our sponsors, UberEats, are giving you a chance to win up to 10,000 shillings in vouchers. All you have to do is just join our league. There's the code for our league. This is the normal FPL league, because now there's FPL Challenge, which has another league. We don't have anything yet for that, but it's in the works. Just join. Top 3 every month are in the running for something special from UberEats. There's a lot to talk about this week. FPL just launched the FPL Challenge. This is going to be such an exciting prospect. It's just going to give us a different layer of excitement, but that means more content for me to create. So it's going to be rough. It's going to be a rough few weeks. We're going to the end of the season. We have 8 more game weeks. I think there's 7 weeks of football. 8 more game weeks, 7 weeks of football. This is the title running. This is where the title is decided between the top 3. So it's going to be a very, very exciting time. Of course, guys, we have a community on WhatsApp. Link is in the description. QR code is there. You can join. As you know, every sport is there, so you just join and just go to where you belong, or go to as many places as you can. This show is now available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. And particularly on YouTube, guys, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Every time I say subscribe, something dope appears in the subscribe button if you're on your mobile. Every time I say like, something pops up. And when it pops up, just click on it, because you have to follow up on that, you have to follow up on it. Other than this podcast, of course, we do Town Danny Podcast, which is a Kenyan football podcast. We are trying to just shed a spotlight on Kenyan football, our local athletes, the people that we love, the people that do make us happy. Kama unataka kulipia tiko ya Nyashinski na Femi One na Kagwe Mungai. Guys, shout out to Kagwe Mungai. He just released a new song this week. Anyway, besides the point, if you're going to go and pay for these artists, why not pay for other form of entertainers? Footballers, entertainers, they make us happy, they make us sad as well. But it is time for you to actually give back to your footballers by showing them some love. For us, we're going to just talk about them, create hype around them. We want you guys to know more about them. That's why that was the whole premise of having that Town Danny podcast created. We have an F1 podcast as well called Gravel Trap, which we just did episode 1 of. So Gravel Trap is off of our event that we do at the Junction Mall. Our next event is on the 19th of May. And after Gravel Trap, we normally show football. So okay, to Gravel Trap, it doesn't mean football fans msi nini. Just ask them. There could be football game after. A really good game. Last time, one of the best ones we did, I think, was Arsenal versus Man U at the end of last season when Rice scored that last minute winner. But yeah, I digress. Exciting news. How could I forget? We have been nominated for an award. We have been nominated for the Digital Creators Award, Sports Content Creator of the Year. For those of you that are watching on YouTube, there's the poster on the screen. For those of you listening in, if you want to vote for us, just go to www.digitalcreatorsaward, then click on the vote button. I think you go to the Sports Creator of the Year, and we'll be right there. This is the inaugural awards. So after getting that TikTok award of Sports Content Creator nominee in Africa, top 3 in Africa, we have gotten one local one, and we love it. We love to see it. We really love to see it. So yeah, shout out to Tamasha for the nomination. Is that everything out of the way? Yes, it is. So I can now jump straight into game week 29 and tell you how we did. Of course, this was a blank game week 29. It was really rough. Only 4 games played, 8 teams in action. We got 31 points in game week 29, not the greatest of game weeks. Flecken, 2 points at the back. Cresswell, Romero, Doughty in defense, 1 point each. Madison, 2 points in midfield. Bailey, 2 points. Bowen, 2 points. Son, 4 points. And he's our captain, which means he basically gave us 2 points. Mooney is up front. He was the only one who gave us anything with 13 points. Watkins, 2. Tony, 2. So our idea of playing the free hit in game week 29 and trying to get an advantage, it was a mission that was quite unsuccessful.
Mission failed. We'll get them next time.
But yeah, we'll get them next time. We'll get them next time. Not to worry. For those of you who are thinking now, my triple captain has failed, my free hit has failed, bro.
Bro, usi panic, my bro. Brav, usi panic.
Usipanic maze. Like we're getting there. It just means your margin for error is smaller, but unazafika. You just have to be very smart. Don't get stupid minuses. Na ujipange mapema for game week 34 and 37. Those are the next big ones. Looking at our leagues, everywhere is green arrows, which is a good thing, but also mostly because not many people played free hit, knowing they're going to play it in the next few game weeks, or within the next 8 game weeks, which is the title run-in. BoxtoBox FPL Show to Pandadi for 7. Good company had 1172. In Kenya, we've gone up 3,000 places. Overall, worldwide, we've gone up 200,000 places. Super Sport League, we've gone up just about 19,000 places. So just over 19,000 places, I should say. We're looking at the team of the week. Leno had 7 points. Keeper Robinson had 11 points in defense. Castagna, 10 points in defense for Fulham. Fulham actually really surprised with that 3-0 win over Tottenham. Burke, Luton, 7 points. Ayer, Brentford, 7 points. Sufal, West Ham, 7 points. Brun Larsen, one of the key performers, 11 points for Burnley. Sasa Lukic got 8 points. And the person who was the player of the week was Muniz, who got 13 points. Chris Wood, 9 points up front. And Antonio gave us 9 points. And with that, we are done with Game Week 29. We're jumping straight into Game Week 30. And before I start with Game Week 30, guys, don't forget. Don't forget anything. Yeah. Straight into Game Week 30. If you guys don't know, FPL have just launched the FPL Challenge, which is going to run until the end of the season. I think this is something that we're going to do every season. We still don't know if it's going to be for the entirety of the season, but I think it's running from now until the end of the season. So what is it? Game Week FPL Challenge. FPL Challenge is just a new weekly fantasy format that's going to be available from Game Week 30. Managers will be able to pick a whole new team every week based on a specific challenge. So every week they'll be giving you a challenge, and that challenge, it's up to you to use that to your advantage to get points, right? And the key thing about this is that whatever you get this week doesn't affect. There's no they're not actually collecting like over the season, like the entirety of the season, like normal FPL. So what happens is that every week it resets, right? And you can still join a league. We have created a league. You can check the league code above here. I'll also put a link in the description for our new league. I think it's going to be called BoxtoBox All Stars, if I'm not wrong. Then yeah, just like FPL, you have 15 players to choose from. Again, as I said, weekly prizes from top scoring teams. The good thing about this is your season will not be like affected. If let's say you miss a game week, we had a poor game week, like week to week is they're completely different. They do not, they're not like connected in any way, right? Then yeah, FPL Challenge will be separate from your normal FPL. So it's like FPL Draft, which is completely separate from that. When it comes to the prizes, the Premier League is actually giving you prizes. I think first place gets a signed Premier League t-shirt and a ball and the EA Sports FC game and an FPL bundle with a rucksack, t-shirt, a mug, a bottle. What bottle was that? A thermal bottle, a stress ball, pen, pad, keyring, like just a bunch of things. Then second place gets all of those things minus the t-shirt, and third place as well. Second and third place get the same thing. First place get the same, but there's the t-shirt on top. A jersey, I should say. Yeah, and then from game week, from game week 30, the number one, the jersey you're going to get is going to be signed by Ange Postecoglou. So you need to really, really get your stuff together. Forward focus, this is game week 31. You're going to get a jersey signed by Rasmus Højlund. And game week 32, Red Rebel, you're going to get a jersey signed by Alexis McAllister. So the key differences between FPL Challenge and regular FPL. Regular FPL has, you can only get a maximum of 3 players from one team, right? With FPL Challenge, you can get up to 5 players from one team. Big advantage. regular FPL, the deadline is 90 minutes before kickoff. With FPL Challenge, you can change your squad up until kickoff. But if you have the player in your team from a certain team and the game starts, you cannot remove them. You cannot drop them even after. But you can only change your teams up until there's 4 teams left to play, which is the last 2 games of the weekend. You can change your team as much. If you have players who have not played, you can keep changing them up until the last 2 teams play. So there's a slight advantage there, and your strategy has to be a bit different. Then again, as I said earlier, scores add up as the season goes in the regular FPL, and in FPL Challenge, week to week is completely different. The scores just reset on a weekly basis. And then similarities, just like FPL, you have 15 players, 2 goalkeepers, 5 defenders, 5 mids, and 3 forwards. Budget is 100 million unless stated otherwise. Like this week, with the challenge you get is unlimited budget, so you can go as high as you want. But generally, it's 100 million. Scoring is similar. Penalties, all those things are just similar. Clean sheets, goals, assists, all of that is similar. And each manager is limited to 1 team. And yeah, those are the key differences and similarities between the new FPL challenge and regular FPL. The first 3 challenges have been announced. You have Gameweek 30, which is this week, unlimited funds. You can build a squad with no budget. So you can have a squad with Haaland, Salah, Saka, Trent, KDB, Trippier, Oli Watkins, Son, and it would affect you. So that is Gameweek 30. The second challenge for Gameweek 31 is forwards double score. So if you this is going to really favor our 3-4-3 formation, right? Or our 4-3-3 formation where you have 3 forwards up front. Whatever they get, they get double. So if you end up captaining a forward, they'll end up getting quadruple, right? Because you've captained them, so they'll get double for the forward score under the challenge, and then they'll get double for captaining them. So basically, you're going to get a lot more points. It's like captaining. It's like 4 captains. It's like having 4 captains, literally. If you compare it to regular FPL. Then Game Week 32, we have the big one, Reds rivalry, which is Klopp's final trip to Old Trafford. So the Reds from Manchester and the Reds from Merseyside meeting up. So you can select anyone from if you select anyone from this team, they're going to give you double points. So yeah, interesting strategy. And now because you can select up to 5 players, you can get 10 players. Your starting 11 can just be 10 players of United and City. And United and Liverpool. And yeah, FPL challenge, this is about to change a lot. This is going to change a lot, and I am here for it. I'm quite excited, and I cannot wait to see what we're going to do with this. And again, we're going to be creating content on this as well. So Msitens, I am here for you. And yeah, that is the FPL challenge. Now, moving straight on to the best players for Game Week 30. These are the players that we think are going to be the best ones for Game Week 30. Obviously, we have Son. Son. A bit confused. Son has a game against Luton. For the season, he has 14 goals, 8 assists. Luton have conceded 60 goals, which is 18th in the league. They've conceded the 3rd most goals in the league. Son is on penalties as well. This is a plump fixture playing at home. I think Son is someone you really need to consider. Next up is our boy, Palmer. Palmer has looked really good this season. Like for someone who's he's not 5.7, but I think he said it's not a 5.0. 11 goals, 9 assists. Like that is an impressive return, especially in your first season after being a fringe player at City. He has a good fixture against Burnley at home. He had 13 points in the last game, goal and assist, and 3 bonus points. He's the form player for this team. With 47% goal involvement, he's bound to be everywhere, and he's on penalties as well. So just consider that. Burnley also I've considered the 2nd most goals. So Palmer is a very good player for this week. Next up, Richarlison. Again, like Son, has a game against Luton at home. He played 10 minutes, I think, in the last game, and then he was called up for Brazil, but he didn't quite play much, but it's just good for his fitness, so he's back now. Again, he's a striker for this team. He was on good form before he got injured. He has 10 goals and 3 assists for the season, but 9 of those 10 goals came between game week 16 and 23, just before he got injured. So you can see how he was on a really, really good run. Richarlison, someone worth considering. And then Oli Watkins, best player in FPL this season. Highest scoring player in FPL, let me say that. 16 goals, 15 assists for the season. Aston Villa have scored 60 goals. That's fourth most in the league. He's a goal and assist threat. He has the most assists in the league. So he's just on fire. And then being called up for England, that's just something. Pride gives a lot of confidence. So someone worth considering for this week. If you don't have them, he's one of the better players for this week. And in, I don't want to say in last place, but finally, Mo Salah. Salah is back, guys. Salah is back. I don't need to say about his achievements. You guys already know. He scored against United in the FA Cup. Didn't even play the whole game. He's on penalties, of course. He's playing Brighton. I think it's a good fixture because both teams will just want to attack, and that just gives a lot of opportunity for Salah. With Brighton playing that high line, I think it's a very good week for Mo Salah this week. And yeah, that's it for the best players for this week. Now, next up, we're just going to jump straight into clean sheet odds for the weekend. We have the team with the highest odds for clean sheet is Chelsea. We're playing Burnley, 48%. Then a few teams on 38%. Nottingham Forest, Spurs, and Liverpool. Liverpool have Brighton at home. Spurs have Luton at home. Nottingham Forest have Palace at home. So they have a really high chance. Then again, 3 teams tied on 36%. Fulham playing Sheffield United away. Aston Villa playing Wolves at home. Man City playing Arsenal at home. Those are the teams with the highest odds for clean sheets. The teams that have the highest odds for 2+ goals. Spurs, of course, playing Luton at home. 60%. Bring it back. Spurs, 60% chance of getting 2+ goals this week. And then Liverpool, 52% chance getting a clean sheet against Brighton, which I don't think they will, but yeah. 48% next up is Chelsea. And then Aston Villa on 38% with their game against Wolves. Man City, 29% against Arsenal. Newcastle, just ahead of that actually, with 33% against West Ham to score 2+ goals. Did I say Chelsea? 48%? I think I did. I'm not sure. But yeah, that is how our clean sheet odds are looking like. Now we're going to jump straight into captain picks for game week 30. Starting up with Mo Salah at 13.1 million playing Brighton at home. Again, energy has gone up. Back in the team. He has a great fixture against Brighton at home. He's on penalty duties, don't forget that. Brighton attack really high, but they don't keep clean sheets. Liverpool have been quite irresistible at Anfield, so someone worth considering. Palmer, second place, playing Burnley at home. Great fixture. Burnley have considered 63 goals, second most in the league. Someone worth considering, 11 goals and assists in this season. 47% goal involvement, really involved for Chelsea. Next up, Oli Watkins is coming back from England with confidence. The man is playing Wolves at home. He's a goal and an assist threat. He has the most goals in he has the most points in FPL this season, so someone worth considering. Aston Villa's talisman. And then Son playing Luton at home. Great fixture. He's on penalties. He's on good form. Great at home, even though last week he blanked for us. He's predicted to be his joint highest predicted points this week, 7.4 points. Luton concede a lot of chances in the box in the league, and they're the weakest team from the right side, that's where Son plays. And then you have Alexander Isak, Newcastle, very good at home, very good XG at home. Hamas concede the most shots in the league from center. Center forwards do very well versus West Ham, so someone worth considering. They have considered the joint most penalties, and they're surprisingly really poor from set pieces. So I think Isak is going to feast against West Ham. And those are our captain picks. Hey, I did it in record time. Hey, guys, you need to clap for me, Maze. You need to clap for me. Where is that applause? Najichocha. It's necessary. It's necessary sometimes. In this life, if you don't psych yourself up, sometimes things can look bleak, and you just have to. You just have to do it. You just have to. You don't have a choice at times. And then, yeah, so finally, we are going to jump straight into our game week 30 team. So this is how our team looks like. I think we made one sub. We brought in Salah. I don't think there's another sub that was made. Oh yeah, Muniz is in as well. So I think that was a -4. That plan we had of getting only -4, -8 for the entire season has gone out of the window. But then some of it has just been out of. Actually, we got -4 for removing Salah when he got injured, and we got another -4 now for bringing him back in. So Salah is the reason for half of it. I think we have -16 so far, which is not too bad. I think it's just okay. And then injuries. Those are game week where injuries were just, it just really killed us. At the back there, we have Saliba, Doughty, and Udogi. Saliba would not have been my first choice, especially against Man City, but Estupinian is looking quite shaky, and he's playing Liverpool away, so we really don't have a choice there. And then in midfield, you have Garnacho, Palmer, and Saka. Garnacho's a game against Brentford, Palmer against Burnley at home, which I think he's actually a potential for captain this week. We have talked about him as captain. Saka, Man City away. It says he's a doubt, but I think he'll be fit. All those guys who are apparently injured international duty are going to be fit. I think the only person probably is John Stones because that was an adductor. And maybe Walker gets limited minutes because it's a hamstring injury and you don't want to aggravate with all the fixtures that are coming up. So I think he'll feature, but he may not play the whole game. The rest of the guys, I think they're fine. There was a whole story about, Bado Silva is injured. I don't know who he said. Those guys are not injured. Only John Stones, because that's an adductor. That one, if you don't handle it properly, it becomes a whole different issue. This is from experience. Then Salah is in, obviously Brighton at home. He didn't even go to play with Egypt, so must be rested. Haaland up front against Arsenal, Watkins against Wolves up front, and Muniz playing Sheffield United. Our captain is none other than Mo Salah. As we said, Salah is playing Brighton. I think this is going to be a really high-scoring game. Simply because Brighton just can't keep clean sheets, and Liverpool have looked impressive, irrepressible, irresistible at home. So I think that's why Salah for me works. Tavernier is on the bench, even though I feel like he has a very good fixture against Everton. If I'm not seeing things are great, he might end up coming in for Garnacho. And yeah. Kelleher, I'm not too sure if he'll start. I don't know if Ederson and Alisson are back, but yeah, let's see how that goes. And yeah, that is our team for game week 30. Of course, now that we have FPL Challenge, we also have to do another team. We have to do another team. Another one? Another team. We have to do another story. We have to do a second team, and our second team, which is our FPL Challenge team. This is our FPL Challenge team, guys. Shout out to our FPL Challenge team and shout out to FPL for bringing more excitement into our lives. So, hey guys, the energy in this board has gone up, down, like it's just shifting. Anyway, goalkeeper Petrovic. It's unlimited budget this week. So we're going with a lot of Chelsea players, if you can see. Also, you get a maximum of 5 players from one team. So you'll see we already have more than 3 players from Chelsea, you see. Already, fantasy challenging working pretty well. In as much as this is unlimited budget, I think we've only gone over by like 1 point something, to be honest. Because in as much as you can get in everyone, some fixtures are quite tough. Like, if Man City had a fixture other than Arsenal, you'd have more Man City players. If Arsenal had a fixture other than Man City or Liverpool, you'd have more players from those teams. So we're also just kind of limited with the fixtures that these players have. Anyway, Petrovic is at the back. Before I continue, our formation is a 3-4-3. We have Petrovic at the back. In defense, Robinson, Robertson, and Gusto. It is so weird that these figures don't mean anything because we're playing unlimited budget this week. 10.1 mil. Son, again, doesn't matter. Son in midfield, Foden in midfield, Palmer and Salah. I just feel like Foden is just dangerous at home. Like, he is actually Man City's talisman at home this season. Dangerous. Oli Watkins, Nick Jackson, and Darwin up front. We have Petrovic, Gusto, Palmer, Nick Jackson. That's 4 Chelsea players. We have on the bench, you have Pedro Porro, Doughty, Iwobi. We have how many Spurs players? We have Son, we have Pedro Porro, and Vicario. That's still like standard. We have 3 Liverpool players. Yeah, I'm thinking we might have to. I don't know. I'm thinking like this Tottenham team. The Luton game is a really good one. So I don't know. Foden might just switch to a Richarlison or something. Now that I think about it, and Malo Gusto has been really good at home. But if you compare his fixture, Burnley at home to Luton at home for Pedro Porro, I'd still go with Burnley. But then Luton are really weak on set pieces. So Robinson to Pedro Porro might be something that I do. But yeah, just thinking out loud. Now that I've after making the team and looking at the fixtures again and doing my research on each fixture, yeah, I'm sort of seeing Luton at home might be a better pick, Pedro Porro over Robinson. But yeah, that's basically it. Iwobi's on the bench as well. The people on the bench don't really matter because actually they kind of matter because you can make changes. Again, strategies change. You see, this is where strategies change because you can change the teams anywhere until this is not your final team. If you hear that someone is injured and is not available to play, now you can actually make the change just before they play. You're not stuck with the team that you made on Saturday morning or Friday evening, you know. So we have that advantage going our way. Yeah, so that is our team for our first ever FPL challenge team, and that is such an exciting prospect that these guys have brought into FPL. Yeah, guys, the league code for this is right there on the screen. Don't forget, now we have 2 leagues. Now we have the Box-to-Box FPL Show League and the Box-to-Box All-Stars League, which is the FPL Challenge League. And yeah, both of them are here for you guys to join. And I'm going to put the link in the description for both leagues. Yeah, man. With that being said, that is our show for this week. Box-to-Box FPL Show. I want to thank you guys so much. I also just want to remind you, don't forget to vote for us. We've been nominated for Tamasha, Sports Content Creator in Kenya. Join our WhatsApp community. We would love you guys to also check out our other podcasts, our F1 Pod and our Town Dining podcast on local football. And finally, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, show us some love. Make sure we are hitting that. Our next goal, we're at 1,200 subscribers on YouTube. We would like to hit like 1,500 by the end of the season. And I feel like that's a doable goal, right? That's a doable goal, guys. In the comment section, tell me what your teams are, who your captain is. What do you think about the FPL challenge and all of those things? And yeah, with that being said, that is our show. Happy Easter, happy Ramadan, or Ramadan Mubarak. And yeah, see you guys next week. Peace.